101.5 KZON. Rycooter, never make your move too soon from Borderline. Don Henley, The End of the Innocents, down in town on July 9th at the Blockbuster Desert Sky Pavilion. Also heard Roxy Music and Daniel Lanois from For the Beauty of Winona, The Unbreakable Chain. 14 after 8 o'clock, and Celebrity Bedtime Stories. We have a beautiful one that is naturally fat-free tonight, and Suzanne Norville is a local writer and reader, and she has recorded this story for her daughter, Betsy. It's Betsy's 5th birthday tonight, and the story, The Little Lost Fairy Princess, on 101.5 KZON.
Once upon a time, there was a small family of fairies who lived in the big woods in a mushroom. The mushroom was carved out so that it was hollow and there was enough room for everyone. It had a door in the front of the stem and a little chimney hole in the cap of the mushroom, and nobody ever noticed except the caterpillars who sometimes sat upon the fairy house to rest in the summer heat. Now this family of fairies was very nice. There was a mommy fairy, a daddy fairy, and a little bitty teensy girl fairy who was called Sherry Fairy. Sherry Fairy was about 3 years old. In fairy circles, that meant that she was about as tall as an acorn. Her wings were pink shiny stuff, and they glittered when she flew. The problem was, of course, that Sherry Fairy was only 3, and she couldn't fly very well. One day, Sherry Fairy decided to go for a walk while Mommy Fairy finished cooking up some dinner, and Daddy Fairy did some other chore thing that didn't look like any fun to Sherry. As Sherry Fairy was walking along in the woods, she suddenly got the idea to try and fly again. She stopped walking, got ready and set, and started running as fast as she could along the path. She began to flap her wings furiously, and soon she was soaring above almost everything. She could see the tops of the gigantic forest trees and the clouds that were in the great blue sky above the woods. She saw a bird, and it scared her because even though she had heard of birds, she had never seen one before. It was huge and looked so mean. It swooped down at her, almost grabbing her with its sharp beak. Just as it got up to her, Sherry Fairy turned fast and started to fall. Her pretty pink wings could not beat fast enough to keep little Sherry Fairy in the sky. She fell down, 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 until she landed on a pile of very soft grass. After she fell so very far, Sherry Fairy was tired. She started to cry a little bit because she was hungry and tired, and she had traveled far, far away from home. It started to get dark outside. Sherry Fairy could hear the huge owls hoo-hooing at each other, and she sometimes heard a whippoorwill calling from the woods. There were other sounds too, and Sherry Fairy started to get scared. She began to cry again, and then she curled up on the grass and fell asleep. Much later, Sherry felt something soft and tickly rubbing on her cheek. When she opened her eyes, it was very dark outside, and she couldn't see very well. Then she heard a soft whisper. "It's me, little Sherry Fairy. It's me, your little butterfly friend." And sure enough, it was the beautiful butterfly that lived next door to the fairy family's mushroom, kissing Sherry Fairy with little butterfly kisses. "Your mommy and daddy fairies miss you, little lost one. I've come to take you home," said the butterfly. And Sherry Fairy, who was still so very, very tired, crawled up on the butterfly's back, and they flew home to dinner.
Once again, happy birthday to little Betsy. Suzanne Norville, a listener of KZON, reading her own story, The Little Lost Fairy Princess. This is REM at 101.5 KZON.
In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Okay.